Hello everybody, welcome back to Gunk Garage, and today in this video we have a review of my 1982 Buick LeSabre Estate Wagon, which is quite a mouthful, which is quite fitting as well because, this car is worthy of such a mouthful of words because look at the size of this monster. Google says it's 18 feet, I believe it's lying, I believe it's more like infinite. She's a big girl. The actual video on this car, at least the acquiring and fixing of most of the parts on this car, will come in a later video. I'm still working on it. But look at her. There's a car coming. I can hear it in the background. Y'all might also notice my mic is a bit better. Please don't be turning. Shit. Let me move the car. This I picked up out in Colorado for a whopping $3,000. But again, you will hear all that later. Little Easter egg from a video game, those that may know it. But again, look at I don't like using the word patina on cars because usually they've been repainted and stuff. This is a true original paint job and design. And it's in really good shape, minus, a few really minor spots here on the hood, roof. And I've actually been dailying this car. The lady I got it from put on the hippie stickers, so ignore those. I put on the Estes Park sticker, and I will apologize for the low quality of the interior of this car. Again, it is my daily, which means all my tools and shit are in it. And we will go over the actual features of this car momentarily. Give me just a good walk around, at least right now. Hyper electric extend antenna. I miss when cars had hood ornaments. The presence they hold is quite interesting to me. Just that menacing front end. Well, not as menacing as, a muscle car from the 60s, but menacing nonetheless. It's a look that kind of demands the highway. Blue velour interior. Those of you who may know, or who may know these cars, that is not the original front seat. She replaced it with something because the guy she bought it from was in the middle of turning it turning it into a tan interior car. And I much prefer the blue, honestly. This blue on white is quite interesting. I do have that center cap, but just such a cool car with my little CB antenna. I will go ahead and give y'all an actual breakdown of this car now. So, again, this is a 1982 Buick LeSabre Estate Station Wagon. They did make sedan versions of this car. Obviously, this is not. This is the full-length Big Mama, which is actually its name. But this one is equipped with the 307 Oldsmobile engine, the highly underpowered Oldsmobile 307, actually. Considering this hood is about the size of my Miata alone, anyway, the 307 was a highly unpopular engine because you could basically build a 305 for a lot better. And this engine, I will be completely honest, is a really slouchy engine. She doesn't accelerate very well. She'll get up to speed, don't get me wrong. But even with it being rebuilt, it is an absolute... Okay, we're just going to go inside. Coming to the inside, we got our one-way key switch. Let me keep that off so you guys don't get disconnected. The original 136,000 miles. I believe the engine was rebuilt fairly recently. I don't know exactly the full mileage. Look at this monster of a fuel gauge. That doesn't work. Ignore the fact that it doesn't work. But that sumbitch is as big as your speedometer, your hydraulically controlled gear switch, which also is not proper. Now, the only thing that is not original, or at least mostly original to this car, is the seat and this radio. This radio looks a lot like a normal radio, but for those of you with astute observation, it doesn't quite fit is because it is a retro sound radio. Which, you know, the old one was just broken and it didn't work. The clock also doesn't work. Huge fucking clock there. Little glove box. It does not have any of the normal GM stuff. It is just a glove box. Ashtray. Speaking of ashtrays, that's the only one here, but there's an ashtray in each door. I don't know if you can see that one. My mismatch panel. Sun visor here. Another fun little fact on the interior, your little sun visor thing is actually backwards. And I believe that is stock because I took it off at one point to try and redo the headliner, and it is kind of stuck in this position. So I'm currently hunting down a new dash. Ignore the possum. AC car, cruise control car, a lot of factory options that you wouldn't get otherwise in this absolute beast of a vehicle. The AC doesn't currently work, but it blows air, just not cold air. And I got to swap it from the R12 system to the 134A, which, if any of you know where to get that conversion kit for a Buick or a Oldsmobile 307, please let me know. I've been hunting for one and I cannot find one to save my life. Factory bench seat. This is very similar to what would have come in the original car, so we're just going to act like this is the original seat. Very plush interior. The back, or the old ones would have looked similar to this, but they would have been the same style. This electrically adjustable two-sided with the flop down in the middle for when you didn't have somebody here. Ignore that. That's all stuff I've put in. The horn is a real horn. I wasn't even trying to honk it there, but it, you know, little blip there. He's factory to the car, considering he came with it when I bought it. He was in the back seat, so he rides up here with me now. Going to the back seat. I'm gonna use the other side. Oh, while I'm up here, pull switches for almost everything. Vents, crotch coolers, OB readers. Emergency brake is a pedal. What was it? There was something I turned around specifically for. Oh yes, your mirror adjustments, which were fancy. These little circular things. You twist them. Neither of mine work. In fact, I'm missing one on this side. Electric locks, electric windows. Those do work. The locks don't, but the windows do. Anyway, coming into the back seat, you always have the, well, I'll show you back when we get to the front, but electric everything. Most of my locks don't work, but, you know, who needs to know that? Back seat just as comfortable as the front seat. Faux wood everywhere. You know, if there was a place for wood, god damn it, they'd put it there. Oh, hey. I've never noticed that before. Look at that. British coin. It's probably from Jackson. I brought him home from the airport last night, actually. So back seat is filthy, so we're going to ignore it for the most part. Big headliner. A lot of chrome too. That's all real metal. I promise it is. That didn't sound like it, but I promise it is. No rust on this car almost anywhere. Real door closing, not a cling, rattle, rattle. It's a full boom. This car is much like every other station wagon from General Motors. It does have the two-way opening door here. This is where your spare tire is. Under here, this pops out. I do have a spider. Go away, spider. I do have the third seat. And in these later generations of station wagons like this back third seat is actually optional. It didn't come with, not all of them came with it, but because it's a high package one, it did. But for the most part, they were fairly uncommon in these cars. Again, ashtray in every seat. In here's a little secret compartment. I thought I heard another car. Secret compartment. Mine has to have the key still in it because if not, it won't open and close. Look at the absolute monster of space you have between your bumper and it. We're just going to ignore the gunfire at this point. You got your bumper, then you got your middle section, your absolute unit of a bump zone here. Like, that's just for the door. That's my hand. And of course, you have all your little drain holes and stuff like that. But your little overhang here for aerodynamics, which if this car had any, it's right there. That's it. And this, ignore the rattle noise here from him. But these higher package station wagons would actually come with a little key feature. Where's my key? There it is. Where depending on which way you turned it, it would roll down. And now you can access your tailgate, which again, usually you would pop this little switch up and it would pop out on both sides. Mine does not work on this side. It does on this side. I'm still trying to figure that out. It's not my main concern, but currently trying to hunt that down. Sweetheart, come on. Not my throttle return springs. There, that. I'll roll that up later. It's fine. Lets it cool off. Square as hell taillights, square as hell everything on this car. Another fun feature. Another fun feature we got here's your gasoline goes woo, goes up instead of to the side. I don't know why. It's just they do. I guess it's because they had that hinge style for on the sedans when it's under the license plate. I don't know. Just something, that I noticed that all these station wagons have that not many other American cars do. Roof rack, strong, it's there. I'll give you a look at the magnificent monster that is this 307 and some other of the fun features on this car. Anti-stealable hood ornament. Rust. Well, I say rust, that's surface rust. Hold on! Come on, give me the hood. Give me all 300 pounds of it. There we go. Look at that monster 307. Yes, the 307 is basically the exact same as a 305. It's just bored a little differently. They're not necessarily more powerful. They were advertised as such. They really aren't. In fact, they're a bit more underpowered, but, there's really nothing special about this engine. It was rebuilt fairly recently, like I said earlier. As you can probably tell by the different colored valve covers, intake, and such. And all the butchery of wiring, which some of it's mine, like that is. Hydraulic hood. Again, just your basic Chevy product or General Motors product under there. But listen to that noise. Boom. There's no light closing. We're not going to close the hood. We're going to close the hood like we mean it. And anyway, let's take her for a spin. Actually, I'm going to let you hear this start up first. Like she means it. Hush hush radio, not the time. So obviously y'all can actually see me now. So boom. Again, like it means it. It's hot here in Georgia, in the wonderful state of Georgia. But we roll on. We get to it. Momentarily. So, anyway, I'll show you that in a minute. I'll show you now. Another fun feature is watch this. See how it's loose and I've undone it? That's normal. Watch when I open the door. It's pretty cool. My friend actually figured that out. I was confused. I thought they were broken and they weren't. God, I hope I don't lose my $300 microphone. I did upgrade microphones, so we got some real filming equipment. Ignore the fact that there is no phone stand currently. There will be soon. I promise we will have Doug DeMuro style intros in the future. I promise it's coming. Another fun fact, with this little switch down here, I don't know if you can see it, this little switch, you can adjust your steering wheel. It is a tilt wheel. Just tilt. There's no telescope, and I hope that's in the right spot. And unlike most General Motors products of its time, it does not have the steering wheel shake. A little bit, but away we go. Something that you may or may not realize about this car, just by me driving it is one smooth ride. This thing weighs a whopping 4,300 pounds, plus a little, depending on what you're carrying, how many people are with you, and what package you have. This one is the highest package, to the best of my knowledge. At least it is the highest package. I'm gonna get that out of the way for you. Ooh, that's weird having the steering wheel that low. But this overall is a wonderful car. I drove it, so far I've put 4,000 miles on it since I bought it. Almost all of that is interstate. I also forgot my back window is currently open. There we go. There's a little switch under the dash. But this car is low power mode. Go away. I don't care. I love this car. Like, I love this car almost as much as I love my Miata, which is saying something. For those of you who know me, that's saying a lot about this car. Y'all will know, I had a Chevy version of this car. It was a slightly later model that was called Grandma. I don't know if I ever said its name on camera, but I called it Grandma. And it never worked. I never got it to run. I traded it for the Crown Vic, which y'all did also see on the channel. So for the past few years, I'd been craving a station wagon. Well, I finally found one when my grandfather and I were heading out to Colorado. I was like, you know what, fuck it. We'll hop on the marketplace and see if there's anything here we can drive home. I came across this. I came across the Big Mama, as I call it. And I went and looked at it, and it was owned by this lovely little old lady. I say little old lady. This lovely mother of three or five, somewhere between there. And she got it because it reminded her of her mother back when she was growing up. And, with a story like that, no, come back, please. A story like that, it's kind of hard to say no. And for such a good price, she came down on price for me. She actually waited for me. She was like, I had so many other people reach out to me about this car, but you said you weren't going to do anything crazy with it, and you were coming all the way from Georgia, so I left it here. I said I put everyone else on pause, and I was extremely grateful for it. And knowing the engine had been rebuilt, I wasn't as worried as I normally would for a Facebook Marketplace deal. And it's with me now. And I don't exactly plan on this car ever really going to anyone else. I've been craving a station wagon, and I still get that from time to time. And now that I have one, why get rid of it? It's such a fantastic car so far. I haven't spent much on getting things repaired. Like, the rear end leaks a little bit. I'll have to get it repaired at some point. It's a bit more in depth than I really have the tools and ability to do myself. Usually I would. But we're talking about, it could just be some basic, brake master cylinders in the rear, or it could be the entire rear end is leaking and needs rebuilding. I don't know. Like the AC system, I can't exactly do that either. I don't have the tools to clean it and do such. But I can definitely have it done, which is coming up. I've actually used this car for cruises more than I have any of my other cars. Not really because I want to, because by necessity currently, but even when the others are back, for the most part, I'll probably use this across country. It's a station wagon, everybody's used to seeing National Lampoon's Holiday Vacation, or Summer Vacation, I forget, Vacation. And every time Holiday Road comes on, it just reminds me of not only the movie, but also my station wagon. And I plan on this car sticking around a long time, hopefully permanently part of my fleet. And if I have to sell it, it'll be a hard day. But in terms of build quality, other than the fact that the interior is a Chevy interior, it's Chevy. It's got cheap plastic that's falling apart, headliners that aren't doing too well, but she is 44 years young. And she's been around the block a few times. And all things considered, it's a fairly solid interior. It's a solid car. There's no rust on this thing anywhere other than some minor surface rust like I showed you earlier. The underside's basically brand new. And, you know, of the cars I've bought, this is probably one of the most put together cars. I have a new headliner ready for it. I just need another car back so I can fully disassemble the interior. I've got the door handles and stuff ready to go back on. I've already done the radio. I love this car, and I'm gonna put the time it deserves into it. So, in terms of reliability, I've driven it 4,000 miles, and I've never really had a problem with it. I had to have the carburetor adjusted, and I gave it a tune-up, and that's about really all I've done to the car, and it's perfectly fine. She gets more attention than my Miata, and for those of you who know my Miata, that's crazy. I promise there's a video coming on it soon. Gas-wise, it's not good. It's a station wagon. It's a 4,300-pound monster with a 307 and a 4-barrel carb. It's not going to get good gas mileage. On the interstate, you'll be lucky to get about 18. Around town, I get on average, I don't know, 12, roughly 11 to 13 is my range, so 12 is about average. But, you know, it's more about how fun the car is opposed to how, you know, it's not, it was a family car back in the day. Is it anymore? I mean, yeah, I can fit 8 people in this thing comfortably. If I really needed to, I can lay both those back seats down and fit, I don't know, 20, honestly, if I had to guess, because you have a full 8 feet of space. This was the minivan before the minivan. When you had a family, but you needed to still live, you know, work construction, you got a station wagon. That's what you did. This was the best option. And I have a video on coming on stuff like that later, again, with this car and a minivan we currently own. But in terms of safety, I don't know what the safety crash ratings of this car are. I personally feel safe. I love this car. I love it more than I like the Crown Vic in terms of safety. This thing is steel, front to rear. In any accident, you're winning. It, like, undeniably, unless it's a full-size 18-wheeler, you're winning that argument. I have an airbag in here. I pray I do. I think I do. We'll hope I do. For safety reasons. For legal reasons. The police station's right here, and they don't tend to like cameras. I'll hold y'all right there. But for the most part, what would I rate this car out of 10? For me, this car is probably an 8 out of 10, and I can get it to a 10 out of 10. I know I can. Everybody loves this car. When I went and picked up my friend Jackson last night at the airport, literally all the security guards stopped what they were doing to talk to me about it, and it was a busy night for them. Your acceleration is going to be ass. It's going to be slow. Again, you're not a muscle car. I forget the coffee shop is closed. Damn. Well, we're already in this lane. We'll make a U-ey, head to the gas station. But would I recommend this as a first car? I don't know. For some, yes. For others, no. It's not a very top pick first car. For those of you who want a classic car that has enough modern usability, I would say yes. Parking it in spots is going to be easier than those full-size pickup trucks a lot of high schoolers really want right now for some reason. It's low to the ground. Power steering is a lot better than most modern cars. So putting it in a spot from a 90-degree angle is relatively easy. It's about as easy as any modern-day sedan or SUV. Medium SUV. I wouldn't recommend it over stuff like the Crown Vic or the Blazer. I just wouldn't. For ease of life reasons. Your miles per gallon are lower. Your parts are hard as hell to find, at least for this car. For stuff like a Chevy one, like a Chevy or a Ford, like a Ford Country Squire, those are a much higher parts finding. It's just specifically for this Buick, I can't find shit ever. Now it's a 307. I can find stuff for the 307 pretty easily because the 307 came in a lot of modern, well, of the time, modern vehicles. But it is still not a Chevy 305. You know, your spark plugs are going to be different. Your firing order is different. In fact, that Chevy I had also had an Oldsmobile, an Oldsmobile 307. And again, I wouldn't classify it as easy to find parts for. Was it easier? Yes. Was it as easy as, you know, an OBS Chevy or a Crown Vic or a Civic? No, not by any means. But, oh! Guys, I'm going to show you another car. Hold on. I just got lucky. Somebody's got a 70s Caprice here. I get to park next to it. 4-door, not a hard top. What a shame. Give me a minute. I'm probably actually about to get attention for it. Oh, that's not them. Okay. I can't flip y'all around immediately. Look at it. That's a cool car. Sorry, I geek out. But anyway, I would certainly recommend it as a first car. It's just, it depends on who you are. If you like classic cars and can kind of work around the shitty gas mileage, then go for it. I say go for it. Just find one that's reliable enough as a daily. Working on this isn't hard, but because it's heavy, it's low to the ground. But anyway, let me know what y'all want to see in the comments, and I will see you guys in the next video. Bye-bye.